Hi guys, I'm back. Louis in the UK. Got a little bit of a coffee. The family are out. I've got a couple of teenagers upstairs because they've got a cold. And my little ones have gone to school and my wife is a school teacher. She's at work. So I've just done a very long live stream all about Larry Geller. But I still wanted to come back to you guys and talk about the Priscilla Presley saga and the fact that her and Barry Siegel had attempted to completely take away all Lisa Marie's power in the company, in her share of Elvis Presley Enterprises, but also the running of Graceland. And I obviously have done quite a few videos on this, but I wanted to keep up to date with your reactions and your comments. So just so you know, I am a lifelong Elvis fan. I fully am an Elvis fan. I want you guys to know that. And I love Elvis, admire Elvis, and really enjoy making these videos. And I'm just trying to get as close to the truth as we can get about what went on with Priscilla Presley and Barry Siegel and other things that have gone on in the attempt to become the owner of Elvis Presley Enterprises. You know, when I say owner, I mean one of the main trustees that ran the company or run the company. So we all know there's been some very serious things that have gone on recently. Obviously, it seems to have been put to bed now with Riley Keough, because in the end, Riley and Priscilla had agreed many things I know many Elvis fans are not happy with. And the biggest thing is giving Priscilla permission to be buried at Graceland. But from what I can see, the wording of the permission that Riley Keough agreed to is she will allow Priscilla to be buried at Graceland if it's possible. It isn't a guaranteed plot for her at Graceland. It's not straightforward. And maybe Riley Keough knows that it's not possible, and that's why she agreed to it. We know that she gave her a lump sum payment as well, and she's agreed to some other things. I think there could be a possibility that 1/9 of the inheritance, I'm just guessing now, went to Navarone. You guys have to refresh me because I've sort of forgotten. And there was many other things that were agreed. I think she is still on some kind of yearly salary as an advisor to Riley Keough. Anyway, this isn't the point of my video today. Is to read your comments. And remember, guys, I'm not trying to stir up hate for Priscilla. I don't agree with what Priscilla's done. I'm really upset with what she's done. I can't believe what she's done and what she attempted to do. And the fact that she tried to have a lawsuit with her own granddaughter is just crazy. The fact that she tried to go against her mother's will is madness. You know, of course, Lisa Marie wanted to give everything to her kids. Of course she did. So for Priscilla to try and force Riley to allow her to be a joint trustee, that's just crazy. Come on, guys. The parent passes away, you give everything to the kids. Yeah? So Priscilla jumping in and trying to stop that was just greedy and wrong. I have to say that. Anyway, I'm going to go to the video, and I thank you guys. This video that's called Priscilla Presley, I Want to Control Graceland, is my most successful live stream. Not only has it had 2,000 views, it's also had, let me just see, literally like 200 comments. And I am gobsmacked at how much of a great response I've had from you guys with this video. And I put this video out there, the Priscilla tried to take control of Graceland video, really learning as I go, because I am still trying to understand all the goings on with the different management companies and understand the trust that was set up on behalf of Lisa Marie and how that all worked, understanding Barry Siegel and his involvement when I think he got introduced from Mark Garibaldi to Lisa Marie and somehow wormed his way in, and from what I see, wasted £50 million. Yeah, again, I'm guessing, but I think the reason I've had such a great reaction is because Elvis fans are just sick of it all. They're like, why is this all going on from Lisa Marie's own mother? And it does seem like Priscilla Presley was right in the middle of all this. And there was a lot of money changing hands, a lot of big decisions being made without Lisa Marie even knowing about it. I think she eventually did know, and she stepped in and tried to sort of mess things up for them. And I think Lisa Marie was shocked when she found out that Priscilla had been taking a $900 a year wage from it all as well. It just, all of it blows me away. And even the 85% stake that was sold off of EPE, Elvis Presley Enterprise, I can't believe that even happened. I know that Lisa Marie was clever enough to retain ownership of Graceland and all the artifacts. But come on, guys, all of that should be in the Presley name. What's it doing in these different companies? And I know that Joel Weinshanker, who is really the king of Elvis Presley Enterprises now, he's the main person. He does come across like quite a genuine person. And he's trying to do the right thing. And I've seen a lot of his speeches. And I've looked into his companies and how he got his wealth and why he's had so much success. But should he be there, guys? Should he be there? It should be a Presley. It should be the Presleys running Elvis Presley Enterprises and Graceland and the running of Graceland. Because when they sold 85% of Elvis Presley Enterprises, that also included that they had control of the running of Graceland, the building, artifacts, the merchandising. I just think, why did it happen? Why did it happen? And you can't turn back the clock. And I've even heard that if all of the Presleys pass away and there's no one to have the inheritance, that 50% of all of it goes to the Scientology. That's madness. The other 50% is homeless charities. But come on, what is all that, guys? I'm just a fan at home. I'm not a corporate businessman, but what the hell has been going on for the last 20 years with the financial decisions and control and all these management companies all stepping in on behalf of Lisa Marie Presley, really, what it boils down to. I think that Riley Keough has inherited madness. She's like, right, boom, it's mine and Finley's and Harper's. I'm the boss. I have to make some massive decisions. How do I undo all the damage that has been done with these financial decisions, with people getting involved? You know? And obviously Jack Sodden was a massive part of launching Graceland and helping to save Graceland from financial ruin. And he seems like a nice guy. I think his wife is a great person in Memphis as well. But I just think, family, blood, the bloodline. That is what should have been doing all this. Yeah. I run a company with my twin brother. It's all family, not these money grabbing, money making companies that are just there to increase the profit line. Now, I know that there's been massive expansion around Graceland, and I've seen, you know, the Graceland.com website is amazing. And when you look it up, the hotels are beautiful and what is on offer is amazing. But it's all money. Money, 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 money. Gimme, 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 gimme. Now, us fans, we just love Elvis. Of course, if we can get to Memphis, we want to go and visit Elvis's home, see his artifacts, see where he lived, see each room, see his clothing and his cars and everything Elvis. We want to see that. But really, we want to see it in the original state it was in way back in 77 when he passed away, and how he lived in the 50s and 60s. And I know the hotel is beautiful and it's 5-star and You get the royal treatment, and I would love to go. I would love to go. But the real true fans, we just want to be close to Elvis. Do you agree? We just want to be close to Elvis. And in the end, it's become like Disneyland. Do you agree? It's become like Disneyland. It's all about the money. I don't like it. I don't like it. I would love it if Riley Keough managed to get away, to get back to control of Elvis Presley Enterprises. Thankfully, she is still the owner of Graceland and all its artifacts. Now, can she buy her way back into Elvis Presley Enterprises? I don't know. I'd love it if she did. Can she get her control back? Because obviously Elvis Presley Enterprises have the control of running Graceland, the museum, the living museum. Can she get the control back? Hi Elvis Forever. Thanks for your comments on my channel. What's your name and where are you from? I'm Louis, by the way. I'm in Southwest UK. And thanks for joining in. So, oh yeah, what country are you in? So, I just, it's hard to explain. I don't understand how big companies work. These companies that come along and they want to boost your sales of merchandise. They want to boost the copyright rights so that no one else is making money off the Elvis name. And they want to boost the visitors that are visiting Gracelands and the tours. And obviously they've created this amazing complex all around Memphis, which is obviously making a fortune for them. Yeah. But I don't like it. It's too impersonal. It makes me feel like we're losing touch with Elvis's essence. Elvis's essence, where he wanted to impact the world, change the world, with not just with his music, with his personality, with his charisma, and in the way that he did good for all these hundreds of charities, and where he helped thousands of people, and where he was a decent religious man, a God-fearing, good Christian, that deep down had really good morals instilled in him by Gladys and Vernon. Yeah. So I feel like we've lost touch with that. Hi, Lewis. Love your channel. My name is Carolyn, and I'm from Southeast Michigan. Oh, thank you. Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn. I'm Louis, Louis. I'm 57 in 3 weeks. So I really appreciate you telling me you like my channel. I'm just a fan, and I'm just trying to give my take on things. I love Elvis to my core. So if people get confused that I do Priscilla videos in that I'm her fan, I'm not. Yeah, I don't hate Priscilla. I just want to get to the truth. And I started off by just doing a live stream on Priscilla, like I've, just to see, just because I enjoyed learn. Let me just let the dog out. The dog's barking. I got 2 dogs, 2 Jack Russells. Go on then. So I started off by just doing the odd Priscilla. Right, my dogs are out there having a little bark a minute, sorry. Just doing the odd Priscilla live streams. But I had such a massive reaction that, because I'm getting so many comments on Priscilla, I thought I have to respond. I have to go through these comments, and it doesn't want to end. So I'll do an hour live stream. I'll wake up the next day. There's like 50 comments, and I'm like, well, I can't ignore them. So what I've started doing is following the comments, and I'm only making live streams on this situation with Priscilla if the comments are there to respond to. So I'm still waking up to loads of comments. So I'm speaking to text, laugh out loud. I don't hate Priscilla either, but I'm extremely disappointed in her. She's made a terrible decision. And look, I think I said this yesterday. I don't know if you watched yesterday's live stream. Now, I've always been fond as a child, because I got into Elvis when I was 4 years old. And actually, when I got into Elvis, it wasn't cool to be an Elvis fan because other people had come along. In the 70s, there were artists that were top of the charts in the UK. So me loving Elvis actually was a bit left of centre. But I didn't care because I was true. I loved Elvis. I was going to be his fan. I don't care how embarrassing it was. I don't care what my friends said. This is back in the 70s. Yeah. Anyway, so what I'm trying to get at with Priscilla is this. So I said this yesterday. I fell in love with the fairy tale. So, you know, just watching TV and reading magazines, and newspaper clips, I fell for the romance of Priscilla and Elvis and how they met in Germany, and that eventually she moved to Graceland, and then the beehive hair. I just fell for it. I thought, yeah, they had a lovely romance. Oh, isn't it a shame Elvis was a bit unfaithful? So eventually she had to leave him. She didn't really have a choice because he was unfaithful. I fell for that story. And then, you know, because Elvis was a bit naughty, they ended up splitting up. And poor Priscilla, she's had to go through life because he died. And then she's always missed him. And she's always said he was the love of her life. And poor Priscilla, you know, she's had a tough life and she still loves Elvis. I fell for that. So really, generally, my love for Elvis, really, in the 70s and 80s was also, I was fond of the fairy tale, the Priscilla and Elvis fairy tale. It's only now that I have this channel, which hasn't been going long, this channel. I think 18 months. I need to look at the date I started this channel. And the reason I started this channel is because I just love Elvis. Yeah. Well, then I'm starting to learn. I've always I actually used to defend Priscilla because I always was in love with the fairy tale, the story that we were spoon-fed. And it's only really recently because I'd noticed that we were getting thousands and thousands of negative comments about Priscilla, and I used to ignore them. I used to think, I'll just ignore them. I don't want to join in on that because I'm not a hateful person. Me, I'm a real believer in forgiving and forgetting and moving on. But these comments are coming fast and furious, and people are telling me off. Why are you doing Priscilla videos? Why are you defending Priscilla? I never really used to defend her. I used to more just say, there's no need for the hate. There's no need for the vile comments. Anyway, it got so intense. I think it peaked only about a week ago, or maybe less than that. So this made me go, right, you're going to have to start looking into this and doing your homework, understanding why is there so many Elvis fans that are so upset and angry. And this has led me to where I am today, which is basically I now, after doing quite a lot of research, I'm talking like I've been spending all my days learning about the financial side of things, the financial side of Elvis Presley Enterprises, the Riley Q lawsuit, all that went on there. And I think that the different takeovers, the different companies that have stepped in, even Jack Sodden, his involvement, the Barry Siegel involvement, the Joe Weishanker involvement, and always in the middle of it all is Priscilla. And every time things are happening, Priscilla is getting a massive payment, not just a wage, also a lump sum every time. And this is all happening without, I think, Lisa Marie was much too trusting with Priscilla and just let her get on with it. Obviously, we know that she allowed Priscilla to carry on running things when she turned 25, which I think was a mistake. And the truth is, Lisa Marie was not good with money. She did spend excessively. She's a lovely person, but I wouldn't say she was a business person. So lots of stuff has gone on that Lisa Marie couldn't undo. And Lisa Marie is finding out lots of things that Priscilla has done, but she's finding out too late. And I think this is what caused them to have this massive 8-year rift. And then only coming together a little bit when the Elvis Baz Luhrmann film came out. They did hook it up a bit. But I think once Lisa Marie found out the depths of the conniving going on behind her back secretly to do with money, and Marco Garibaldi is part of this because he introduced Barry Siegel to Lisa Marie. So there's some serious underhanded things happening here from her own mother that have impacted massively on the inheritance of Elvis Presley Enterprises. We know that only 15% of it now is retained by Riley Keough. And also with the running of Gracelands, because I know people keep saying that Riley Keough still owns Gracelands and she still all the artifacts and all the rest of it. But Elvis Presley Enterprises run it. They run Gracelands. They have control of running Gracelands. So I don't like none of it. And I think that the reason Lisa Marie Presley, in the end, shortly before she passed away, was almost not speaking at all to Priscilla's, because she knew everything. It was all out there. And luckily, she did do the alteration to the will that if she died, that Priscilla Presley would be removed as trustee. And I think Barry Siegel was going to resign anyway, but he would have been removed as well if he had been still there. And luckily, she was smart enough. She took out that she was smart enough to make sure that if on her death, that Priscilla Presley was removed, and it was all going to go to Riley Keough and the kids. Unfortunately, Benjamin passed away. So deep down, her gut instinct told her to do the right thing, which Priscilla disputed. Priscilla, trying to be smart, using her lawyers, is trying to wrangle out of it, or tried to wrangle out of it by saying that the signature was fraud and that her name was misspelled, and that you're supposed to initial all the different points, and you're supposed to produce the document to Priscilla Presley to make it legal. She just tried to find little holes. And this is what's going on now with the lawsuit that Priscilla's in now, with Bridget Cruz. Priscilla has committed to all these massive contracts, all about trying to get Priscilla out of this deep debt that she was in, or probably still is in, and this financial mess that Priscilla has got herself into. And Bridget Cruz comes along. I know she's a bit of an auctioneer, isn't she? To try and save Priscilla. And in the end, Priscilla has thrown that in her face and is now denying everything, saying that she didn't know what she signed, and is trying to get out of all her obligations and commitments in those contracts. So this is an ongoing legal dispute that is happening as we speak. So it doesn't say much about Priscilla's character, that she can sign these different contracts and then, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm sorry, it's not good enough. We're adults here. We sign contracts, we stick to our word. That's how it works. That's business for you. So it says a lot about her character. Even her 11 days after the death of Lisa Marie, trying to do a lawsuit towards Riley Keough to say that Lisa Marie's last will, or the changes that she made within the company, were not right, were not done by Lisa Marie. Come on. That has infuriated the fans. The fans are fed up. The fans are like, what are you doing? Who do you think you are? The fans are saying, you divorced him. You had a divorce in 1973. You were never his widow. And the way you treated him leading up to the divorce was disgusting with Mike Stone, but not just that, with the money grabbing, the going back. I want more money. I want more money. I want more money. And even just before he died, putting a charge on the Graceland property to try and get more control and more money. And then I know you've heard all this before, guys, but the changing of the story over and over again through all the interviews for years and years, and then going back and trying to reinvent the story and rewrite history. This is what the fans are upset about, that they feel that you keep rewriting history. Rewriting history. You tell one story, then you change the story to suit yourself. They're never admitting any wrongdoing. This is what gets me when I'm watching these interviews. Going right back to the 80s, Priscilla Presley never admits any wrongdoing. Ever. Not even one thing. Not even one thing. Nothing. It's always, I'm the victim. Poor me. Elvis did this to me. Elvis was controlling. Elvis had a temper. Elvis was unfaithful. Elvis kept me locked at home like a prisoner. I had no life. It's just rubbish. It's rubbish. Elvis was so good to Priscilla. And when he did eventually bring her to America, he really looked after Priscilla. He gave her everything she could possibly dream of. She had a dream life, a dream life. And I'm not going to say that Elvis wasn't unfaithful and Elvis didn't go off and do his movie career and his concert tours. But come on, you married the most famous man in the world who was going on concerts or making his movies. Of course he's going to keep going off and leaving you. What else is he going to do? That's his life. Elvis lived for his music. He lived for his fans. He lived for touring. Yeah. So as many keep saying to me, you knew what you were getting into. You knew what you were getting into, Priscilla. Now, Priscilla's way, because Elvis was not doing everything her way, was to also be unfaithful, to lead her own double life, because she had a double life. She was having the time of her life in Graceland and in the different homes they lived in, Palm Springs and California, wherever it is. And she was having a busy life and more than one affair. And she was enjoying spending his money and enjoying the luxurious lifestyle that she benefited from by being Elvis's fiance, his wife, his girlfriend. And I just feel that Priscilla has tried to reinvent the whole storyline, that she is this victim and everything wrong in her life was Elvis's fault. But then Elvis passes away after she's been very greedy and had way too much money out of him on the divorce settlement. And I think she went back 3 times for more money, Priscilla. Elvis was way too generous, much too kind. Elvis has never said a negative word about Priscilla, ever. Not one word. He always tried to do the right thing, Elvis did. And I think Elvis even forgave her for her unfaithfulness more than once as well. Because she really did hurt his pride. And she really did make him feel stupid. And the Mike Stone affair was very public. And he had to endure that. And I feel so sorry that he went through that. Now, am I going to be completely ignorant? No, because Elvis did have affairs. Obviously, the Anne Margaret thing was horrific that Priscilla went through that. But what was Priscilla doing at the time of the Anne Margaret affair? And this is what I'm saying. If secretly behind the scenes they were not in love and they were unhappy and they were both being unfaithful, you see it all differently. You don't see that Elvis was unfaithful. You see, you just see that, oh, actually, it wasn't a proper relationship. They weren't properly in love. They weren't a proper couple. They were just existing. Elvis had made this commitment to do the right thing with Priscilla and one day marry her. Elvis had pressure from the Colonel, from Vernon, from Priscilla's parents to marry Priscilla. So then everything gets mixed up and you see things differently. But then moving on after his death, she gives up his name in the divorce in 1973. Gets on with her life. Elvis helps her set up a salon, like a clothing boutique. Elvis gives her a fortune constantly. That doesn't work out. That goes bankrupt. So as soon as Elvis passes away, and even that, there's a complicated story there. Once Elvis passed, when Priscilla attended the funeral, where she refused to allow certain people on the aeroplane with her to come to the funeral, even that raises questions to me, because there were people that should have been at that funeral that Priscilla wouldn't allow. Yeah, so that's another video to be done in itself. Sorry. Yes, it's sick. Believe me, I'm not a fan of Priscilla. I just don't like to hate people. She is extremely selfish. Yeah, it's all about Priscilla. And unfortunately, Priscilla put herself before her daughter, and no fan will ever accept that. And to be honest with you, no parent will ever accept that the kids are come second. I've got 6 kids. My kids come first, no matter what. I would never do anything behind their back, ever. I would never put money before any of them. Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, so then you've got Priscilla taking back the Presley name after Elvis died. I don't know the exact date. I'd like to know. I'd like to know when she officially started using the Presley name again. And we all know that the Presley name was taken back for career purposes, to open doors and opportunities to make more money. It was always about that. There is no other reason to take that name back, because she had given up using that name for a few years. So she had, the only reason that it could have been that she took the name back was only money and greed. Had to be. And then she plays the widow for the next 40 odd years. Poor me, the widow. She was never his widow. They had divorced. She had moved on. She had had numerous boyfriends. We know Mark Garibaldi, and now the last name is found out that it was Garcia, that because he pretended he was from Italian descendants, but really he's Brazilian. Anyway, and there's a whole con there, and I got a feeling that Marco Garibaldi spent an absolute fortune of Priscilla's money, which is really Riley Keough's money and Lisa Marie's money. But anyway, so she spends the next 40 odd years playing the widow, playing the ex-wife, playing the wife that had lost her husband, that had lost her true love, which we know is rubbish. They had fallen out of love. She had moved on many times. She was Mark Garibaldi for over 20 years. So, and she had many other boyfriends, like the Kardashian guy and Michael Edwards. And it doesn't take long. You Google it, the boyfriends come up. No, Elvis was not the love of your life, Priscilla. No, he actually was a boyfriend in your life for a very short period, because, come on, the marriage was a farce. Yeah, that's the truth of it. If you really look at the marriage, they got married around 67. It was a reluctant marriage. I do think Elvis was on and off trying to make up his mind whether or not he wanted to get married. And I think after he got married, I think Elvis on and off had regrets and didn't know if he should or shouldn't have done it. So, and Elvis had to pick up the pieces. So then you've got these interviews early on in the Elvis and Me book, and obviously the Elvis and Me film, which I think was it 88 or 98 that it came out, the film? I think it was 98. And she said many things in that book she should not have said. And actually, I was watching an interview yesterday that she did in the UK with a host called Terry Wogan. And I just felt really uncomfortable all through that interview. He was saying to her, why did you write the book? Why did you talk about his sex life? Shouldn't it be a private thing? He was saying to her, you've upset the Elvis fans writing that book. And she was just trying to deny all of it. She was trying to say, oh, no, I'm trying to set the record straight. I'm trying to show people that Elvis was a human being and just show his human side. No, I'll tell you what you did. You told the world things that are private that Elvis would have liked you to keep to yourself. You said many things in that book and twisted them in your favor. This is what I see in the Elvis and Me book. And obviously now with the Priscilla film that the fans are just sick of, yeah, and that has infuriated the fans, you basically, with the help of Sofia Coppola, created a Priscilla film that was completely about making yourself look like a victim and look like the good person, and Elvis look like the bad person. That's the truth of it. I've watched that film many times now, and it's so unfair on Elvis, that film. And the guy who played Elvis, he might be a nice guy, but I tell you what, that is one of the worst Elvis films. You know, the person himself, is it Jacob Elordi? That wasn't anything like Elvis. Nothing like him. Now, the Priscilla girl was different. I think she looked the part. She played the part in a very sweet way, but it was played from Sofia Coppola's point of view. It was done to make Elvis look bad and Priscilla look innocent and sweet and genuine and honest and the victim. And poor Priscilla, look what I went through. Look at the horrible life I had. How dare Elvis dress me or help with my hair or my makeup? And Elvis kept me a prisoner at home. Elvis was constantly in favor to me while I was at home being loyal to Elvis. It's just such a load of crap. And the film has flopped, hasn't it? The film was a big flop. And if I was Sofia Coppola, I would not be happy with how that film turned out, because it didn't tell the truth. It told Priscilla's story. And I know that the film was based on the book Elvis and Me, but no, there is a complete another side to the Elvis and Priscilla story that we are not being told. We are not being told the truth about that film. It is not the truth. And Elvis fans know the truth, and we just want to hear the truth. We want Priscilla from her own mouth to go, actually, this is what happened. These are the affairs I had. I did get too much money. I was greedy. I haven't treated Lisa right. I shouldn't have sent Lisa to Scientology. And there are so many things that the fans, the people that love Elvis, want Priscilla to admit to. And she's never going to, guys, because Priscilla has never admitted anything ever. Any wrongdoing, nothing. Anyway, I'm waffling. I want to read some of these comments. I hope I didn't go on too much then, but I'm quite passionate about it all now. So let's find, I don't want to read loads, just want to read some of the highlighted ones. Right, let's have a look. Let's go to the video. So I thank you guys very much for the success of this particular video. I'm just going to click on it. I do find it hard to find these comments sometimes because the way YouTube says shows them, it's a bit jumbled up. So I'm just going to read from the top and we'll go from there. Scientology has taken most of Priscilla's money, just like the rest of the celebrities in this cult. And that was from Angela. I can't believe that if all the descendants of the Presley family die, that 50% of it all, of Graceland's, goes to Scientology. I can't believe that. Cannot believe it. Scylla gets the shed. Leave it to her son. Scylla won't live many years. Right, okay. Priscilla continues to take from Elvis. She is so evil. Instead of trying to keep taking from Elvis, she should sell her positions, buy a small house, and leave them alone. That's from Debbie Schultz. Hard for anybody to remember things that happened 60 years ago. Hi, Sandra. How you going? Okay? Right, let's just keep going. So what I'm trying to do, Sandra, is just learn from these comments. All of my comments are Elvis fans that love Elvis at heart and just want the right thing for Elvis and his descendants. At 14, Priscilla did not know what she was getting into. 100% these so-called fans are very immature and jealous of Priscilla. Okay, I'm here to listen to all points of view. If you're a Priscilla fan or an Elvis fan, I want to hear it. Hi, Sandra. I hope you're okay. Right, let's keep reading. Priscilla said in an interview that when Lisa Marie was born, Lisa ruined her marriage and she hated Lisa and Elvis. Okay. Let's have a look. Priscilla was banned from making Priscilla movie. Coppola is Lisa. Let me just get to her. Right, here we are. It also came out that Elvis and Priscilla both took lie detector tests and Elvis passed with every flying color and Priscilla lied with every question. This is Patricia. Marco is the one who let Lisa know that Lisa looked into and found out it was all true. Where is Marco Garibaldi? Okay, I want to try and click on the actual video and try and look at the comment. Money. Right. As a mother myself, I can't imagine trying to take anything away from my son. He is my world and my husband. I would never do anything like this to him. I would do without so he could have better than I had. And I get that comment. And this is what upsets me. It's her daughter. I forgot to mention Rhonda's channel, Presley Mania, is a fantastic channel. It sure is, guys. Great channel. I recommend it. Presley Mania. Great channel. Let's have a look. So we've got here. Priscilla can't touch Graceland's number. Elvis bought Graceland for mum and daddy. Way before Priscilla came to the picture, Graceland bought 1957. Priscilla can't ever touch Graceland. Okay. She's been behind every dirty deal that is going on with the help of God-forsaken Scientology church. Well, I think you could be right about that. That was Florchbold. Let's have a look. The question here is, it says the trust was legit. So why did Riley have to give her anything? This week's legal drama marked the second time Keough has gone to court to establish herself as Graceland owner after the 2023 legal spat with ex-grandmother Priscilla Presley, age 78, Elvis's ex-wife. Okay. Let's have a look. Hi, Louis. It's Linda from the UK. Just want to change the subject. She's asking me to do a different video. She does say, I'm very interested in all the legal stuff you're getting into, Louis. Thank you. Right, let's have a look. I've seen stuff about this as well. No one has ever offered one bit of proof. They just take these women at their words. No pushback whatsoever. I completely agree with you. That's Stacey. Okay. Let's go to the comments. I am original Elvis Presley fan from the beginning. I am so glad to see people finally waking up to the truth about Priscilla. She is the biggest fake fortune hunter and gold digger and backstabber on the planet. Thank you for unmasking her as her true self. Priscilla can't stand Joel. I think she means Joel Weishampfer, the owner of Elvis Presley Enterprises. Joel, but Lisa loved him and had a great relationship with him and told him everything. Yeah, I see that Lisa Marie was close to Joel Weishampfer, which tells me he probably is a decent guy. But ultimately, it's all about money, isn't it? It's all about money with these companies that are trying to run and take over Elvis Presley Enterprises and the merchandising and all the rest of the stuff where they can profit, you know? I wish it all belonged to the Presleys. I really do. I wish someone would do a documentary about the real Priscilla and what she did to Elvis, Lisa, and Elvis Presley Enterprises. And I see that, and it's a good point. But I would like an interview. I keep saying this. I just would like an interview with Priscilla and go, right, did you do this? Did this happen? Did you change your story? Were you unfaithful? Have you stolen money from the companies? Did you try and take control of Elvis Presley Enterprises from Lisa Marie? Why did you send your daughter to Scientology? Why do you act as Elvis's widow when you were not his widow? Who were you unfaithful to Elvis with? Why did you paint Elvis out to be this abuser and this person with a horrific temper that treated you so badly when he spent his whole life and he really tried to do the right thing for you? There's so many questions that Priscilla should be getting asked here. Do you lie about Elvis? Do you twist the truth? Why did Lisa not speak to you for 8 years when she found out about this takeover bid that you were secretly doing with Barry Siegel? What happened to Barry Siegel? Yeah, these questions need to be asked. Yeah. Elvis said one time that Priscilla had no heart. He tried to make her feel love, emotion, and there was nothing. Elvis also said she was bringing him down and draining him. Well, I think she definitely was draining him and bringing him down. And I actually think the way she treated Elvis was horrific. I think he must have gone through hell because of Priscilla. Now, am I saying that Elvis is innocent? No. But when Elvis was off with other women, what was going on behind the scenes? This is a big question to me. We're told that Elvis was constantly unfaithful. And obviously, Elvis had a lot of girlfriends. We all know that. And he loved them all and he treated them all amazingly. But what was the situation with Priscilla and Elvis? Whilst Elvis was away making movies or doing a 68 special or in the Vegas concerts, had they secretly split up? Were they only together for Lisa Marie? Was it a fake relationship? So Elvis didn't feel like he was being unfaithful because Elvis felt like they didn't have a marriage. They weren't together. I want to know this because this happens in a lot of relationships, I think. People stay together, but they're not actually together. They're together for the children. Yeah. So I'd like to ask that question. Right. Hi, Louis. Thank you for your videos. I love your channel. Priscilla is not an honest person, and her interviews say something different. God bless you. From Jean in California. Thanks, Jean. That's very kind of you to say. Right. It might not be right for a non-family member to run Graceland operations, but if the family is not capable of doing it, original people only took money, no investment, then the whole thing could have gone bankrupt. Maybe Lisa knew that. Her son, not capable. Riley had her own career interest and her mother's only wanted the money. Well, I understand. Look, I understand that the reason these, we're talking big money, these corporate businesses that are taking tens of millions, hundreds of millions, sometimes need management companies to step in and help them run things and boost the profits and boost expansion and investment. I get it. I understand that. But I personally think all of the Presley stuff should be with the Presleys. I really believe that. It should be with the descendants of Elvis. So Riley Q and Finley and Harper. They should have it all. All of it. All of it. It should all be it all should be owned by Elvis's descendants. I truly believe that. And these big companies stepping in and making fortunes from the legacy of Elvis, I don't like it. I don't like it. That's just how I feel. And I mean that about Gracelands, and I mean that about Elvis Presley Enterprises. I read somewhere Joel Weishenker said, if Priscilla wants to come to Graceland, she can pay for a ticket if she wants to go there. Right, Sandra. Priscilla wants to be buried at Graceland. She must feel strongly about the place for her connection with Elvis and his birth family, rather than be there at the end of than her own birth family graves. Yeah, right. And I've had this discussion with many people, Sandra. It's a difficult one because I don't care what anyone says. I know Priscilla loves her daughter. I know Priscilla loved Benjamin. Yeah, because blood is blood. Now, is she greedy where she's made loads of mistakes, silly mistakes, that have affected Lisa Marie and Riley Q? Definitely. But I know she loves them. And I understand that she would like to be buried near Lisa Marie and buried near Benjamin. But as you say, she has other descendants. She has Navarone, who one day, will be buried somewhere else. So rather be there at the end of her than her own family's graves. Yes. So yeah, I see that point. That it's a dilemma for Priscilla. Do I get buried with my family descendants on one side, or with my Elvis's descendants at Graceland? So I'm just doing a live minute. So you have a very good point there, Sandra. Very good point. It's a difficult one because obviously there's two children buried at Graceland. So probably if I was Priscilla, I'd want to be buried near the two children. It's a difficult one. Okay, let's go to... I'm going to try and... I don't know why, but I struggle to click on these videos and then to see the comments. It's the way they all come up. So let's just click on that. I'm amazed. I've had 143 comments on that one video. I just find that fascinating. So let's click on here and see what comes up. And so you sort of get what I'm saying, guys. It's like... And I can't understand why someone at 79 years old is so career-minded, wants to travel around the world, doing personal appearances and signing autographs. And I just don't get it. I'm like, 79 years old. I know that you can still have a very full life at 79. Of course you can. Yeah. Many of you guys are are in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I know that, and you probably have great lives. But you're not trying to make money, are you? You're not trying to earn money, do business. You know, you're retired with your family and grandkids and great grandkids and all that. This is what I think. I'll tell you now, when I'm 79, I ain't going to be running around trying to make money. No chance. Right. Let's see if we can find. I struggle with these comments. I don't understand why YouTube is making it so hard for me to read these comments. Let's have a look. Right, releasing that. Oh, this is Elvis Forever. Elvis Forever. I'm going to read one of yours. Releasing that movie and suing her daughter's estate a week and a half after her death did it for me. I have no respect for Priscilla anymore, but I actually feel sorry for her. I agree. I understand you feeling sorry for her because she's a human being with feelings, and she's lost her daughter and her grandson. And she's had a tough time, hasn't she, Priscilla? But surely that should make her be nicer and more decent and more trustworthy and more honest. But the good in Elvis outweighed any negative. He was an amazing human being and he deserves better for his legacy. And I agree with that. If people just want to look at Elvis and see that he took medication and that he was overweight or that he was unfaithful and had a lot of girlfriends, you don't see Elvis. You don't see Elvis, because Elvis, the amount of good Elvis did was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. You could write 10 books on all the good that Elvis did. The fact that she still, this is Cheryl Spencer, the fact that she still released the movie knowing how Lisa felt about it. I'm sure Lisa voiced her opinions to her mother. She sure did in emails to Sofia about it. And we know about this. She wrote to Sofia Coppola asking her not to do that film. And she made it very clear to Priscilla she did not want that film made, which is why I think they weren't talking. And Lisa Marie had picked up on the fact that that film was going to do harm for Elvis's legacy, Elvis's image. And it was obvious that that film was all about making Priscilla look good. And it was crap, guys. British talking. The film was crap. Why didn't she write a book about her loving daughter when she was alive? Everything she does is so mind-boggling. I agree. There's a lot of things about Priscilla that I just don't understand, because she should be grieving, guys. It hasn't been that long since Lisa Marie passed, but she's not. She's being interviewed and laughing and giggling in interviews. And how can you laugh and giggle? I think most parents that lose a child will take years to recover. Years. She was out on interviews 4 or 5 months after. It's just so wrong. Promoting Elvis gives her purpose in life. I agree that's how Priscilla feels, but her purpose in life is to be there for her grandkids. That's her purpose in life. Not to spend all her time acting like she was Elvis's like she was Elvis's girlfriend when he died. When she split up from Elvis and had a divorce, they had finished. Game over. She's had many relationships and very long-term relationships. She has completely moved on. And if you look at the older interviews of Priscilla, she wouldn't even put pictures up of Elvis. She had an office for the Elvis Presley Enterprises company, and she wouldn't even put pictures up of him. And it's actually in an interview. She had fully moved on. So things all went completely wrong with Marco Garibaldi in the end, because he was a con man and he lied about his nationality, etc. And he had stolen a lot of money from Priscilla, really, from Lisa Marie. So then she wants to act like Marco Garibaldi didn't happen. All the other boyfriends didn't happen. And actually her only boyfriend was Elvis, and she still loves him. Yeah, come on. Now, you look at any interview where Priscilla is asked, do you regret divorcing Elvis? And there's quite a few on there. Piers Morgan and Larry King both asked her this question. She says, no, it was the right thing. We got on much better after we divorced. She is glad she divorced Elvis. She has no regrets. She has never said she regrets divorcing Elvis. Not once. Yeah. So she is not his girlfriend. She was not his wife when he died. She is not his widow. So to act like she's his widow and that they were still in love when he died is rubbish. It's rubbish. And I wish she would admit that. I would rather she say, do you know what? Me and Elvis had some great times together, but we weren't compatible. Me and Elvis had some brilliant times together, but I wanted different things. I wanted a career. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to make movies. I wanted to be in the TV world. I wanted to advertise things. I would rather she was honest in that way. I wanted my own life. I wanted to see different men. I wanted to sleep with different men. I fancied different men. That's what I want Priscilla to say, because that is the truth. That is the truth. Elvis is not the bad guy here, right? Anyone you speak on public stage, in a book, in a movie, it is there forever. Backing up is almost impossible. Own 1 year version of your story or the other. When you speak out for 40 years, you have to be very careful to keep your story to its original version. I am actually sorry she has painted herself into a corner. Well said. Who is this? This is user GZ5X. And this is Priscilla's mistake, that she's been telling these stories for over 40 years and she's forgotten some of the things that she said in the earlier years. And the story has changed to what she is now saying in the last 20 years. And the fans are looking back at these old interviews or old things that she's written, yeah, and going, you've changed what you said. You're not saying what you said. The story has now evolved that she is the heartbroken widow who misses Elvis, who still loves him and wishes he was around. I even saw one interview where she says that when she found out Elvis had died, she couldn't bear life without him and couldn't imagine life without him. Come on. You were with someone. You had a bloke in your bed. That's the truth of it. So it's just such rubbish. The way she treated Elvis was disgusting. I don't think he was her first love, Sandra. Sandra, I have total respect for you. I completely understand that you have fallen for the Priscilla and Elvis fairy tale love romance, yeah? But it wasn't what you think it was. I do believe they had some happy times and some special times. I think they had a lovely wedding and engagement, and I think they had some nice holiday trips together and they had some special times together. I do believe that there was some good times. But was this the fairy tale romance that we were all told? No, it wasn't. And you can tell by her actions. Priscilla's actions are the reason I'm speaking the way I'm speaking now. She's made so many mistakes and done so many things wrong. The bottom line is she wanted out. She could not wait to leave Elvis. She could not wait. And to blame on him being controlling and unfaithful is rubbish, because she was controlling and unfaithful as well. Priscilla was unfaithful. She fancied men. She wanted money. She wanted fame. She did. Yeah? So I'm sorry, Sandra, but if you don't agree with me, all you have to do is go back on the interviews, going right to the 80s of Priscilla, and see how her story changes. Then also look at how she has treated Lisa Marie Presley as well. Go back, look at the divorce documents, because all the divorce documents are out there now. You can see how Priscilla kept going back for more money, kept breaking promises, accused Elvis of some horrific things to get more money. And even just before Elvis died, she was still trying to get more money from Elvis. And this is all proven in documentation. Read the divorce papers and understand the truth. So But I do respect Priscilla fans and their right to defend Priscilla and to have their views on Priscilla and to see the good in Priscilla. I respect that everyone has their right to their own feelings, their own opinions. Yeah, that's it. That's right. Elvis Forever. Sorry, tell me your name again, Elvis Forever. It's gone out of my head. Is it Carolyn? Is it Carolyn? Every time she looked at Lisa, she could see Elvis. Yeah. She saw the money. Yeah. And yeah, I thought it was Carolyn. Thanks, Carolyn, for helping me here. I hope you didn't mind me reading your comment. Let's have a look. I just want to shut the door. My door's swung open. It's all cold in here. Just want to shut the door. You can probably hear the wind. It's very windy in the UK. So I carry on reading this message because it's quite a good one. Oh, thank you. I love the comments from the subscribers. I love them. You're all teaching me, guys. That's the truth bit. So let's have a look. Lisa Marie's memoir will hopefully fix some of the rumours, and I'm really looking forward to that memoir. I was watching Rhonda's channel on Presley Mania, and she was talking all about that memoir and talking about the cover, because Priscilla has been removed from the cover, hasn't she? It's just showing Elvis and Lisa Marie. So I think you can order it now. It isn't out till October, as far as I can tell. So let's have a look. I still think Riley will try to keep a united front because friction is not good for the Graceland image. It is a business. I probably wouldn't be interested had she not done the movie. Such a lack of judgment when you take the biggest superstar of all time, demonize his character. You have to know that Elvis fans are going to be offended. Yeah. I'm surprised she went ahead with that movie. I bet you she got paid quite handsomely for that Priscilla film. Did any of you enjoy the film? Have any of you watched the Priscilla film? I think it's terrible. I can't understand why she didn't listen to Lisa's begging her to not do the movie. Lisa wrote a letter to Coppola and said the movie painted her father as a paedophile and a groomer and a violent man. She said, how do I explain this to my twin daughters? Their grandfathers abusing their grandma. I am so sorry and sick and had to deal with the movie. Yeah, shouldn't have happened. Yeah. Do you know what? My nosiness watched it. And I was hoping that Elvis was going to look good. Couldn't believe how bad it was. I actually thought the girl that played Priscilla was really sweet. And she did the best she could, but she didn't say a lot, did she? If any of you guys have watched it, she hardly speaks. She just smiles and nods and looks pretty. So, but she does seem like a really nice girl. Let's have a look. It also came out that Elvis and Priscilla both took lie detectors. Well, okay. Just seeing. Right, Lisa was so against the Priscilla movie. I didn't want the movie put out. Lisa died knowing Lisa didn't want the movie to come out, and Priscilla still put it out there. And do you know what? I watched a video yesterday. It was on Spotlight Spy's channel, which I highly recommend. Spotlight Spy. I don't know the woman's name who runs that channel, but she's brilliant, and she got the all the information about poor Lisa Maria. You know, it hurts me when I think about it now, but how unwell Lisa Marie was and what caused her to die. In the end, she had more than one heart attack. I think they did manage to revive Lisa, and they were hoping she was going to recover, and then she'd had some kind of operation to try and help her lose weight, and something in that operation caused a blockage, which in the end, it was the diet-related operation that ended her life. And I think there was a problem with opiates. So from that video I watched on Spotlight Spy, Lisa Marie really did have a lot of pain and had a very, very painful death. And I don't even like to say it on this channel, but it was very upsetting. And I think, do you know what? I probably wish I didn't watch it. So it was not nice to watch, because I love Lisa Marie. And I've been watching Lisa Marie right from when she was, you know, a teenager, right to today. And I love watching Lisa Marie's interviews in good times, and she's had many good times, and there's some brilliant interviews of Lisa Marie, brilliant, like all through her decades. Yeah. And she is just so fun and full of life and very smart, Lisa Marie. She's a joy to watch. I love watching her. The reason I agree, Sandra, I'm looking forward to that book. Hope Riley gets Lisa's book. Hope Riley lets Lisa's book become a film. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that book. I'm going to order a copy. I know that where was I watching it? On Rhonda's channel, Presley Maynard, she was saying that if you order the book directly from the Graceland .com website, you get an extra thing thrown in with the book. I think it's a signed something from Riley Keough. I don't think it's an original signature, but you get, it's more of a collectible artifact. So Rhonda was talking about it. And that's the other thing I saw on Spotlight Spy, is that there's all webcams on Graceland.com. There's all webcams. If you join Graceland.com, sign in, that there's quite a few webcams where you can see the meditation garden live. You can see the front of Graceland live, and I think a few other areas. And if you pay their yearly fee, I think it's $23.99. I think there's a lot of extras you get thrown in with the Graceland.com. It is quite a good website. I haven't joined it yet, but I'm considering it. Anyway, the reason Priscilla is asked these atrocious questions is because Priscilla set the stage for them in her book and her many interviews. Why would they ask such questions if not brought to the light by Priscilla? I'm sorry, that is how it began, and it still is. Priscilla put herself in the limelight because that is where she wants to be. I definitely agree with that. She does love attention. She loves fame. She's very fame hungry. We know she loves money. To remain there, she must be telling her side of the story. She continues to lie. Whoever questions her motives or stories, unfortunately, gets sued. And she's, you know, we know about the Child Bride book in 1997, and that she sued Cary Grant. And in the end, I think he lost, and there was a $75,000 amount that he had to pay. Obviously, he didn't have the money to do it. He's just a very elderly man now. And I think in the end, it was agreed that she didn't have to pay. He didn't have to pay her as long as he kept his mouth shut. So even with the Child Bride book, guys, I don't know what's true and what isn't true. I really don't know. I'd love to see so basically Suzanne Finstad, the author of that book, said she recorded all her interviews that she did, that went into that book with these friends of Priscilla in, I think, 59, 60. I'd like to see those interviews that she recorded. I'd really like to, because it is said now that some of the people that had things written into that book are now denying it. So I'd like to see. Let's have a look. The lady is despicable. She can question, but she can't be questioned. Sounds like a narcissist playing their contemplated games over and over. Stay out of her way. But please, Priscilla, the ex of Elvis, needs to stay out of his legacy. Remember, you left him to find your own way. You lived with another man for over 20 years. You have an illegitimate son while still using the Presley name. All of the money, and all the while calling Elvis the love of your life. You are not very good woman. And I can't handle it. How do you call someone the love of your life that you dumped and had a public romance with his friend Mike Stone? It's beyond me. And even the Presley name. Who takes a name back? Who gives up a name after a divorce and takes it back years later after they die? No one does that. I've never heard of that. Now, I completely understand people keep their married name because they've got kids, but no, she gave up the name, moved on with a new family, then Elvis dies, and then she takes the name back. It's beyond me. It doesn't fit in my brain. Right, let's have a look here. When Elvis and Priscilla got divorced, he didn't want her using the Presley name. I know. He definitely didn't. And if you look at the divorce documents, Gladys, nice to see you, Gladys. I'm Louis. Nice to make your acquaintance. If you look at the divorce documents, which are all easy to find now on Google, and I've done a live about the settlement they had. She went back, I think, 3 times. If you look at the divorce documents, it clearly says you cannot use the name Presley. You cannot use the name Presley. So who takes a name back? It's like, come on. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, say if I was married in my younger years, and then I heard that my ex-wife died, and then I go, my ex-wife's died, I'm going to go and start using her name. Ha! It's madness. It's so obvious that she took the name back because she wanted money. She knew that the Presley name was going to open doors for her, open opportunities for her, was good for her career, was going to put money in her pocket. Very greedy, very greedy. Anyway, let's have a look. How do you really want to be remembered? You are certainly not a good ex to be remembered. You are certainly... and you are not a good ex to be buried at Graceland close by Elvis. You drained Elvis of so much, you will not drain him of his iconic stature. Not ever. There are way too many Elvis and Lisa Marie devoted, faithful fans to let you remove that from them by letting you even a tiny bit part of Graceland anymore. You, Priscilla, belong to your parents, your illegitimate son, and Scientology, not at Graceland with the Presley families. Priscilla, the legacy of Graceland and Elvis are being kept up by his loyal fans. If Graceland means or meant so much to you, why did you put a lien on it before Elvis died? You have so much to answer for. This is true. Weeks before Elvis died, she put a lien on that property, and it was all about getting more money and more control. And the whole Scientology thing, I've made it very clear on here. I don't agree with Scientology. It's a cult. It's very weird. It's completely wrong that Lisa Marie was made to go to that school. Why couldn't Lisa Marie have had just a normal high school type schooling in her life? Because if you look at the Priscilla film, it's very clear that Elvis wanted her to have a high school education, and she had her prom, just like all of you guys do. Well, that was taken away from Lisa Marie. She was put into this boarding school type education with these very unusual, strict, crazy, weird rules. So Lisa Marie's education was not normal, and nor was Benjamin's. Now, I don't know where Finley and Harper go to school. I don't know if Lockwood is into Scientology. Maybe you guys can tell me that. Is Michael Lockwood still into Scientology? I've heard that Priscilla is still in Scientology, and she couldn't get out of it even if she wanted to. But I am completely against Scientology, guys. Right. That was a great comment. And this is from Debbie Gibson 3703. Thank you, Debbie. If you watch this back, that is a very, very detailed comment that you've took a lot of time to write out, and you've obviously done your research. I really appreciate it. All right. Okay. Well, I think that's it, guys. I've been on here for an hour and a quarter. I don't want to bore you. I really appreciate all of you joining in. Thanks, Carolyn. And look, I have to say, I am not a Priscilla hater. I am at the moment going through a very passionate stage where I'm a bit upset, not angry, and I really want to speak my mind about the wrongdoing that Priscilla has done
situation
to the Presleys, to Riley Keough. And I really just want to speak up and go, come on, us Elvis fans, let's keep doing our research. Let's keep finding out the truth. Let's keep digging. And not just about the finances and EPE. You're welcome, Carolyn. I want us all together to do more research, keep digging, keep finding out things. Let's tell each other what we're learning, what we're finding out. Things, especially if we can find any kind of evidence, like old interviews, old videos, any documentation to back up what I'm saying, or not just me, what us fans are saying together collectively, the things that Priscilla has done wrong right from 1959 right till today, and not just finance stuff, not just property and company stuff. I'm on about just private, personal things that she should not have done. Because I actually think Priscilla had more relationships than Steve Peck, the dance instructor, and Mike Stone. I think other things went on during that period when Elvis got to a point where he wanted her gone, he wanted the divorce. I think more things were going on. I even found out that Steve Peck, the dance instructor, was at the 68 comeback special, and on one of the Elvis websites that's called Elvis Rare Photos, it actually shows a picture of Priscilla sat with Steve Peck at the 68 comeback special. So you just imagine how wrong and rude that is, that Priscilla would attend his comeback special with her boyfriend, with her lover, who I've also found out was married. So let's dig deep. Let's find out all the information. Let's get to the truth. In the end, what do we all want, guys? We want Priscilla to sit across a table and be interviewed by a respectable person, and Priscilla to allow this person to ask her all the questions. We want the truth. We want the truth. Now, at the moment, I'm spending a lot of my time trying to find old interviews and information so that I'm more aware fully of what really went on from 1959 to today. I want to know more. I don't want to guess. I don't want it to be hearsay. I want it to be factual. I want to understand the truth. Okay, guys? You will change your mind as soon as you find out what the woman has done. She is so evil. Change my mind about what? That was a great... Change my mind about what, Gladys? Please tell me. But so remember, I am a true Elvis fan to my core. To my core. I've got Elvis's back. But I will always try and say the truth. The truth. I won't lie for Elvis. I won't twist the truth for Elvis. I want the truth. But here, Elvis, in my heart, from 4 years old. Thanks, guys. Yeah, and trust me, I don't, Gladys, I don't know if you're a Priscilla fan or an Elvis fan, but I am an Elvis fan through and through. But I do respect Priscilla fans. I do. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. I'm in Southwest UK, and probably later on I'm thinking of doing, of course, thanks, Gladys. Thanks for joining in. I really appreciate it. I'm thinking of doing a video, a live stream later about Red West. I posted a video on my channel today about when Red West stuck up for Elvis at high school and stopped the bullies from cutting his hair. I don't know if any of you have watched that, but I've also done a video today and I've posted it about Larry Geller and how he met Elvis and how he affected Elvis's life as well. So I hope you enjoy them. You take care, guys. I love Elvis too. Thanks, Gladys. Thanks, Carolyn. Thanks, anyone else. Thanks, Sandra. Really appreciate all of you joining in. And if you're just waking up now in America, all around the world, good morning to you. Because I know that you lot are all, it's like, what time is it here? It's 11:38 here. So aren't you 5 hours behind? So in America, you are, is it nearly 7 in the morning? Is that right? Tell me, guys. Sandra, are you still there? What time is it? Carolyn, what time is it where you are before I go? I know there's a bit of a delay on the comments. 6:30. 6:40 a.m. And that's because I woke up. I think I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning, but I always wake up early, always. And so you take care, guys. All the best from the UK. Brilliant chatting with you all.